Hello and welcome everyone to my new video. Today we're going to be going over the Draconis Combine, the dragon that consumes all, an unstoppable force that no foe can withstand. That is what the Draconis Combine's propaganda machine wishes others to see about themselves. The truth of the matter is a hell of a lot more complicated than any brief summary of the faction can do justice, however. After proving themselves as easily the second strongest power in the Inner Sphere in the first three succession wars, the fourth, while maybe a loss, did not come as a catastrophic blow as it did for the Capellan Confederation. And with the releasing of Rosselhag and purging of the disloyal elements of his military in the Ronin Wars, Theodore Curita found himself territorially at a loss, but internally as strong as ever. Considering the only territories lost were border worlds of middling importance, and Rosselhag, which was on the verge of rebellion anyway, its independence gained the Combine so much more than it could have possibly lost. After many shrewd political moves by the Coordinator, including shortening his borders as said before, and increasing his level of technology to match Comstar's own mechs and overmatch the mechs sent by his opponents, his own troopers' grit and determination, not to mention all the help Comstar and their techs could muster, helped tremendously. Theodore Curita came out on top in a contest against both of his major enemies, a serious achievement and a massive feather in the Coordinator's cap. When the clan corridor opened, Smoke Jaguar nearly destroyed the Draconis Combine. Hope for the dragon's survival was grim. If not for Comstar's sacrifice and the later era's political machinations set up by the growing inevitability of the Steiner-Davion Civil War, the dragon would have fallen. However, with the immediate political maneuvering benefiting the Liao Chancellor, the Coordinator needed to politically maneuver himself to swiftly make sure that the Combine was secured, rather than one of his future enemies. Theodore Curita, now with the backing of the First Lord of the Second Star League, drove out the Smoke Jaguar threat forever in the first unified front against the clans, Operations Bulldog and Serpent. After Operation Bulldog, the Draconis Combine pushed to make more gains against their enemies, while also absorbing and digesting all the new technology from their recently defeated clan enemies. One other such boon for the Combine was the now raging civil war in the Federated Commonwealth, allowing Theodore Curita to swing the next election with the vote of the now alienated Victor Steiner-Davion. While not totally out of the line of fire, dealing with a war against both Ghost Bear and the Draconis March, conflicts the dragon would be victorious in, Theodore had finally put the Combine as second to none in both clan space and the Inner Sphere. Not content to simply be at war with the Word of Blake, the Draconis Combine also had a civil war to contend with. The Black Dragon, as they were known in their own language, was just as dangerous a threat to the Combine as the Blakists ever were, even costing Theodore Curita his life, killing him in a terrorist bombing. A huge blow considering his masterful handling of the last 50 years. But all that Theodore had built will hold. In one of Battletech's most chaotic eras, Theodore's children would hold the line as the sphere around them burned, until Delvin Stone ended the war and with the blessings of the Draconis Combine would form the Republic of the Sphere. With Theodore dead, a new age for the Combine began, one without the major power conflicts of the last 20 years. Indeed, it wasn't until the 3130s that the Combine would attack the newly formed Republic of the Sphere, an attack that occurred after a vast disarmament of all major powers after the Jihad, leaving the strikes at the Dragon's enemies with less bite than expected. This being a disadvantage suffered by all major powers, it wasn't seen as any major sign of weakness. However, internally, at least for one of the men in the Combine, it was weak and it was complacent. Warlord Torunaga would, from the sidelines and through the politics of the shadows, strengthen the Combine how he saw fit, even at the expense of what he believed to be weak coordinators. Indeed, picking and choosing who he would have on the throne, he began to groom Yori Curita while undermining Vincent Curita, the true coordinator. His success ending in the total annihilation of Vincent's family and installing Yori as coordinator, securing her rule by taking out the Nova Cat threat within the Combine's borders and loyal to Vincent. As Yori Kurita wrestles for control of the Combine from her teacher and until this point, puppet master, Torunaga sees not only the shifting winds in Yori's favor, but deciding to give his apprentice one last gift, to go out doing as much damage to the enemies of the Combine as possible, even at the cost of his own life. With all Torunaga's ill-made gains, fate now shifts in the tide of resurgent enemies. The clans, especially Ghost Bear, threaten the borders. Yori, as the inheritor of the ill will generated by Torunaga's quest for power, will be forced into a delicate balancing act to pull off, in order for the dragon to survive the coming era intact or at all. Thank you all again for watching this video. It's been a pleasure to make it all for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.